Okay, welcome to Chem 105. It's an exciting semester, exciting time to be around learning chemistry. This semester, winter 2021, we're going to try to do our best to learn this material. We know that there's a lot of interesting things going on right now, and we're going to have to roll with the punches. When things change, we're going to have to change with them. And we're going to have to try to make our learning as smooth as possible, but recognize that things will come and go. So, here in our home page, I'm here at the home page in Canvas, all right? And we have some important links to see. Here, the first link that I want to bring your attention to is Chem 105 course syllabus, all right? So if we click on the syllabus here, and we can read through a little bit of the information. There's a required text. I should start off. I'm the instructor. My name is Dr. Scott. I graduated from BYU, Hawaii a long time ago, and I did my graduate work at the University of California, Davis, where I studied biofuel cells, and then after I finished my PhD at UC Davis, I went to the University of Hawaii and worked at the Hawaii Natural Energy Institute for 2.5 years. And while I was doing that, I also taught some night classes here at BYU Hawaii. And then after my postdoc was done, I came here full time at Brigham Young University of Hawaii. And that was in 2006. So I've been here for a while. I like teaching general chemistry. I like students learning the fundamental principles of the universe and nature, and I think that a good understanding of these principles can be displayed in so many different ways throughout your life and make a change in your life. So, I love to help students understand these general principles of nature. This again is our required text. All right, we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but you got to make sure you have a textbook because almost all of the quizzes are going to have questions from the back of the book, back of the chapters. So you need to have those available and know which questions you need to know how to answer so that you can be successful in the quizzes. All right, Chem 105, Chem 106. This is not a chemistry for non-majors. You could take it, but it's a little bit more difficult. So I would suggest taking something like Chem 101 or Chem 100 or a Physics 100 or a Science 100, something like that if you just need any old science class. This is a chemistry for science majors, and it's made to take in sequence, Chem 105 and Chem 106, and we have accompanying labs as well. All right. The program outcomes. We want to be able to possess a working knowledge of the principles of chemistry. These are these principles of nature that I'm talking about. Demonstrate this ability, convey scientific ideas to each other. And that's going to be a little bit limited this semester, but I think that there's going to be opportunities to do this as well. You're not going to want to get behind in the class, all right? It's very difficult to catch up after we start. So you'll want to make sure that you are prepared and that you are doing the homework problems so that you can understand the concepts and not get behind, all right? I have down here suggested dates for beginning the different chapters and for taking the exams. And if you stick to this, I think you'll be safe. If you get behind, it's not impossible to catch up, but it becomes very difficult and discouraging, worst of all, right? And a lot of times, the people who do poorly in the class are just the ones who stop because they get discouraged. So you want to try to avoid that as much as possible by staying on top of the homework and watching the videos, all right? Quizzes and homework. So the homework, I call homework what you do to prepare for the quizzes, and I'm not going to be grading or monitoring your homework, but I'm going to be going to be able to know whether you're doing your homework by how well you perform on the quizzes. All right. The quizzes and the homework. Let's get back to our home page here so we can kind of look at the quizzes a little bit better. The quizzes are here on the home page here. You'll just scroll down and see any spot where it says quiz on something, right? So here's a quiz on the above video. This is the first lecture video here. There's the second lecture video, and then there's another quiz on problems 1.30 and 1.44 and the above chapter 1 videos. So these quizzes are cumulative throughout the chapters. Now, you can't completely disregard previous chapters because they build on each other, but the quizzes themselves are pretty much self-contained within the chapters. Let's bring up some examples of, let's bring up the book really quick so I can show you how to find chapter 1, problems 1.30 to 1.44 in the book. All right. So here is a PDF of the book, and you can see if you can find the PDF. You're welcome to use the PDF. That's not a problem. So here is chapter 1, and reading through this will help you learn the material. I would also watch the videos. You need to watch the videos so that you can perform well on the quizzes. Some of the quizzes are just on the videos, especially kind of the beginning ones in each chapter. But reading the book and watching the videos should give you a good opportunity to learn everything that you need to learn to be successful in the class. All right. So as you move your way through the videos and through the book, then we'll eventually get to the end of each chapter. And here in the end of this chapter, chapter 1 here, we have first initially review questions. Now, I never have students focus on the review questions to do homework. You're welcome to. They're very, they're helpful as well, but they're less quantitative and more qualitative. So most of the homework that I like to see you do is more quantitative stuff. And those are the review problems. So again, our review questions are here, but we're going to be looking at the review problems in all of the chapters. And you see here, review problems start with number 130. And if you keep going through all the review problems, the last one is 152 or 153. 153. Okay, so 130 to 153 are the review problems for chapter 1. And you'll notice that there are blue ones, 130, 132, 134. These are blue, so they have the answers in the back of the book, so that's nice. And those are the questions that generally I focus on to take the quiz questions from. It doesn't mean that 131 and 133 aren't questions that we might have similar questions to those in the exam quizzes as well, but you want to for sure be able to do the blue questions. Now, I choose the blue questions because, as I said, they're in the back of the book. Now let's go back to this video here. So for example, I watch the first video and then I take the first quiz, and then I watch the second video and I see that the second video's quiz contains questions from these problems. So before I move on to take this quiz, I want to be sure that I can answer these problems 130 to 144, 130 to 144, right? And specifically, again, the blue ones. Now, let's say I'm going through these problems and I'm having trouble. Now, you can always contact me. We'll also have a tutor that you can contact to help you answer these questions, these problems. But at the beginning of each chapter, so here is the first video, but at the beginning of each chapter, there are videos of me doing the homework. All right, me doing the homework. So here, if I click here, I can watch a video of me answering the homework problems. Let me turn up the volume real quick so you can watch what's going on a little bit. See if we can get a little more volume.
2 of everything? That's a good question. 2 is just referring to 2 of what's in, sorry, 3.
So I got this sped up. I'll slow it down a little bit. But here I'm solving problem 130. And then I'll move my way through all the blue problems, and I'll solve all of the blue problems in chapter 1 here. So if you can't get a hold of me, and I think that this is probably what most students would do first, is they would go and watch me solve the blue problems here. All right. So again, before I do this, before I take the quiz, I want to make sure I'm proficient in answering those questions, right? And if I run into trouble, then I want to go and watch somebody else work on those homework problems. All right, and that's the way we're going to move through these chapters. Watch a video, take a quiz. Watch a video, take a quiz. Here again, 130 to 144, and some questions from the actual videos themselves. Now this one is 130 to 152. So I need to be able to answer some more questions, need to add to my abilities to answer some questions. So again, I'm going to want to go through my review problems and make sure I can answer all the way up to 152. The blue problems up to 152. All right. After I finish chapter 1, I'm going to move right on to chapter 2 here. Now in chapter 2, or at the beginning of every chapter, there's a suggested date for beginning, and that's January 9th. All right, so it's, this stuff is, I think most of this stuff will be reviewed for most of you, and so I'm counting on you moving through chapter 1 relatively quickly. So by January 9th, you want to try to begin chapter 2. Now here, looking at chapter 2, again, I see a video here that this is the homework problems, me solving the homework problems. And then here is my first lecture in chapter 2. And we have quizzes, or this quiz here is on 226 to 238. So just to make sure there's no confusion, I'm going to go to 226 to 238. Where are we at here? There it is, review problems. 226 to 238, right? So I can go through those, and if I have a good, firm understanding of what's going on, then I would move forward to take this exam. If I need to go and watch some video problems, that's what I would do. Now, let me show you one thing here that I would search for the specific videos that I have trouble with, or specific questions I have trouble with, by scrolling through here. You can see the number 226. So maybe I don't want 226, maybe I want 240 or something like that, right? So I could scroll through here, and as I scroll through, I could find the beginning of 240, right? And then watch the specific one that I have trouble with. After, again, I have figured out how to answer the problems that are going to be associated with this video, and I've watched the video because the quiz questions are going to be about the problems in the video, but also about the video, some parts of the video itself. Then I would take that quiz. Okay. Each of these quizzes is worth 4 points. Now, we're going to miss some points now and then. And in the beginning, well, it's up to you how many points you feel comfortable kind of leaving behind. If you leave behind too many points and you get anxious and you think, I need to make up some points here, then what we have available to make up points is you can visit with me online, and we'll go over some problems that you missed or some other things that maybe that you're studying right now. It doesn't need to be necessarily things that you missed. Maybe you already learned how to do them, but we can go over and study together. And whenever we study together, you have the opportunity to earn up to 3 points. Okay, so that's almost the 3/4 of a quiz, a complete quiz. You'll also have the opportunity to earn those 3 points by meeting with a tutor. We'll have an online tutor which you can interact with, and every time you interact with the online tutors, then you'll be able to get Again, up to 3 points depending on how much time you spend interacting with the tutor. And I expect 3 points probably to be about 20 minutes worth of interaction with the tutor or with myself. Okay, so those are extra credit points, interacting with me doing problems or interacting with the tutor doing problems. And so those are ways that you can kind of get points back. Now, none of these quizzes are going to be able to be taken twice, all right? There is a time limit on them. In some cases, the time limit might be pressing, but that is a critical component as well. So usually the time limit probably won't be very pressing to you, but we do want to make sure that we're learning the material. I know that when you're online, it's sometimes easy just to search the internet and try to find the answer, but the time limit will make that process more difficult. I don't mind if you search the internet. You're welcome to search the internet all you want to try to find any answers for anything. The class is open book, open internet, open everything but neighbor, really. And the only thing that really will limit your ability to answer these questions is that time limit, ultimately. So you'll want to prepare before you take the quizzes or click on the quizzes. All right, now let's say I've moved my way all the way through Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 and Chapter 3, and now I have my first exam. It's Chapter 1 through 3, and it's going to be worth 200 points, and I'm just going to click on this. I only have one chance to take this exam, again, 200 points. You'll have opportunities to make up these points, just as, the points that you'll be making up by meeting with either myself or a tutor can go towards quiz or towards exam or whatever. So if you get 100% on all the exams, or all the quizzes, but you miss points on the exams, those points can go towards the exam as well. All right. And so that's how the course is going to proceed. I think we've covered pretty much everything about how the course is going to work. Our grading scale is a very typical grading scale. If we do use American Chemical Society exams, they have an average score of 50%. They're not curved towards 75% being the average. And so we'll adjust the scores on those so that it fits this grading scale here. Here's our quizzes. The number of quizzes is approximate at this point, and as I'm going to try to be monitoring the learning. If I see that there's a need for more quizzes for any reason, then this number could increase or decrease if I see that it's not as effective as I would like it to be. The number of exams, that's going to probably not change very much. And again, I've written in here, as things change throughout the semester, dates and quizzes might change because we want to take advantage of every opportunity we have to learn. But I think that everything else is pretty standard. So here are some policies that you'll have on multiple syllabuses in your different classes. Okay, other than that, I think everything is described here. If you have any questions, you can email me. Otherwise, I'm excited to get started. Oh, here's one extra link here that I would show you. You can take a look at. This link here allows, it has a link to a PDF of the book. I'm not sure if that is still available, but at one point it was on the internet out there. So, all right. Looking forward to seeing you guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.